Hello, Salesforce Ohana. Walters954 here, coming at you with a very special video on Einstein. So in this video, I'm talking with my good friend Lucas Ribeiro from Riberio on everything Einstein. So Lucas, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me.
Hey Warren, how's it going? It's a pleasure. It's something that we get at these opportune moments. We get a little bit more time to dedicate to sharing with the community, but it's something that we always try to carve out time to focus on is sharing a little bit about what we know and do, so that we can help people who are interested in Einstein to come in and learn. So thank you for having me. Come and join your show, and we've known each other for a little while, so I'm excited and honored to be here with you.
Cool. So Lucas is being very modest, but he runs a decent size, I would say, Einstein focused consulting firm down here in South Florida, and it's a global company as far as I know, and it's very strictly focused on Einstein. He's also, I think, the leader of the Data Tribe, which is a community group focused strictly, or for the most part, on data. So if you haven't heard, definitely check those out. Do you have anything to say about those real quick?
Yeah, so I would say I'm the leader of the Florida Data Tribe. Data Tribe, I would say, is a bigger movement.
Cool.
And our company, fortunately, we've been really lucky in the way that we've started by getting into a niche market and working with some major clients and doing some really good projects. And you know, we're trying to keep up with the pace of growth in the economy there. So.
All right, well, let's talk about that niche market, and it is Einstein. So, a lot of you know from me, I'm an admin developer. I know a lot about Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and a lot of the general clouds, but Einstein is a black hole for me at least. So, I'm just going to kind of throw it out there like, what is Einstein for me? It's an analytics tool that is built on top of the Salesforce platform. I may be getting all this wrong, so this is why I'm going to actually turn it over to Lucas to kind of say, what is Einstein for you?
Yeah, so I mean, Einstein's a lot of things to a lot of people, and it really depends on the use case. So Einstein, Warren's absolutely 100% correct. It's a it's a tool that's built out of it's a platform with a series of either smaller platforms or tools, um, all encompassing built within the Salesforce ecosystem. So that way, security and session management all gets that robust benefit of being, Salesforce protected. We all know how great Salesforce security is, how great it is for building platforms and scaling them quickly and sharing them both in your enterprise and to the public. And Einstein is a platform, or a series of platforms within that ecosystem. So there's, analytics tools, we have machine learning model to building tools for language and vision and thoughts, and a series of ways we can do regressive analysis on data and make predictions. So there's a whole lot there, and but it's all built in that awesome Salesforce system, and also built in the way that it's accessible as any Salesforce tool is. So we can empower quick development cycles that really make a nice tight impact in companies and businesses, and and all type of opportune applications.
Very cool. Yeah, so it looks like there's a lot more stuff than, even just what I'm talking about. When we look at Einstein as a platform, like you said, there's analytics, AI, prediction, voice. It's a lot of stuff that is encompassed inside of the platform, and even more as Salesforce continues to add on different functionality for Einstein. But some of the really great things is you can use either all of your Salesforce data from your actual org, pull that into Einstein, and be able to visualize a bunch of different things in different ways. And it's not even just on your Salesforce platform yourself. You can pull data from CSVs, external systems. So it's a really great tool that you can use to, understand and churn and manipulate your data. So you're moving into this new type of data model and structure for your company. So Lucas, let's talk about some of the different components. We've sort of mentioned them a little bit. What are some of the different features and components of Einstein?
Yeah, so let's go over them. The basic ones, the more recognizable to some of the latest features that we have included in Einstein. I think that's a really good summary that you gave there. Einstein Analytics, traditionally, when It came into the Salesforce world. It's an analytics platform. It used to be called Wave, and for the last couple of years, we've shifted over to Einstein Analytics. And it's a platform for you to analyze and visualize your data, but much more than that, than just creating quick visualizations. It's a way that you can integrate your data from external systems, like Warren said, from CSVs, and be able to surface that intelligence, connect it to your Salesforce world, and really be able to not only immediately deploy those visualizations to your company within your Salesforce environment, but also be able to deploy custom mobile apps and have that visualization scale out in a secure fashion. It's a compressed inverted index, so that means it can calculate over billions of rows of data with really, really quick times. It seems really fast, and it really is. And more importantly, is it can allow you to take action. Right? It's a very explorative experience where you select something, it'll engage a filter, and then you can just keep exploring and drilling down into your data endlessly until you find the point that you think is valuable, and then you can quickly collaborate with your team in terms of having conversation points, being able to do like a Google Docs version of chatting with somebody.
Cool.
To taking an action. You can embed your Salesforce actions to it. You can embed webhooks, all these things that really allow you to then scale that from within the Salesforce platform externally to other systems like your Slack or even your Oracle database, and just using a REST API, post or get message, you can immediately send some of that data out and help you really engage. So it really transforms, and Einstein Analytics really transforms the way from doing static analysis of your data to doing very dynamic, scalable, actionable analysis of business, shifting you from a data latent process to a data driven process. So it's really a lot of fun to be able to scale, and you can build beautiful visualizations and apps that ultimately become an experience in itself because of its interactive ability.
And I've seen a little bit on, when we think of like the traditional Salesforce report and dashboard, and it's for the most part static. If you want to click and filter down something, you have to go into the report and manipulate it. I've seen some of the Einstein dashboards that are really slick and new, where you can click on different elements inside of your dashboard or your report, and they automatically filter, and it changes all of the data on the page, and you can easily drill down into things and get more information out of your data.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the most beautiful experiences you can have in that sense, is being able to select something and then see everything else change. And that's a part of that, and you can see how your data really connects to each other. And a nice, interesting part on top of that is the ability to then leverage that, right? Because once you click on something, it filters everything else, and if you take that to its natural scale, that means you can continuously explore and understand your data, and you can make changes across it based on those selections and those results, and really change what you're looking at. So it's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful experience, but it makes it fun for you to explore and understand your data and its connections. So yeah.
Right. So let's pivot to something that I'm really interested in, and that is AI and bots. So when you talk about AI and development, and having some Alexa and Google Home being able to type something in and they understand it, or it goes through a certain flow from like a chat bot or something like that. So have you worked on any like Einstein bots, or what's your take on a lot of that new functionality?
I mean, this is the reason why I came to the platform, right? Like you, it's really exciting as developers to be able to see these things really take place and interact in a deeper way with us in our standard conversation, and understand our world a little better just by feeding it data. So Einstein AI, I would say, falls into a series of categories. So we'll have bots. Bots are a way that it can leverage its language processing engine to understand the words that we're using, and we can quickly build systems that you've probably seen in like your Bank of America app or your TurboTax, where you're interacting, you're asking questions, and it uses the language context to identify Q&A answers that you can give, and then even enable your users to have actions through things like links and custom buttons that you built based on those results. So once they match, so people can talk to it and chat with it via your whatever interface you want to provide them, and essentially take an action there. So that's really, really powerful thing for business to be able to diverge that, help people get help now rather than waiting in line to talk to an agent in that old process. And we can then develop other things into that. So that's one big category that we've implemented at several clients. We've implemented internally. It's a lot of fun. And it feels really satisfying to be able to do that. And you can even put in jokes, right? So it's a lot of fun. Some people opt for that, some people don't. We like to suggest it. Have a little fun with your clients, make it personable.
I think it depends on the business image,
It really does. It really does. And we have a little bit more of that. We have a serious tone, but we have a little bit of a playful side to us as well. So that's part of our brand. So we like to include those things as suggestions, but really depends, right? Focus on where your brand lands and how you can deliver it. And you can customize the bots for that. And it makes it really, really easy. Rather than you having a team of data scientists build your language model understanding, having to go through lots of data, and then having somebody build the UI and a design team talk about the flow of conversation, right? Having these massive teams to build a chatbot, you can quickly, with your admin skills, hop in and start to put together a list of basic questions and answer them, then deploy it. And once it's deployed, it's available to your clients, and then you can scale it as questions come in that it can't answer. So you can save those chats and trigger those things to really save and store and review and just continuously improve. So it really cuts that cycle down. An amazing part of the platform is the chatbots, and we really are trying to push a lot of that today for our clients because it's such a low cost, high ROI item for us to implement. And it's just a lot of fun for developers and admins. And then we can train you guys, or whoever, to always be able to come in and learn and manage it, right? It's not something that requires some high price consultancy to come in and manage for you. You can come in and with a low investment really have a really high quality, high tech system. Nice. Alongside that, there's Einstein, voice goes with that language component. I know we're skipping a little bit, but voice allows us to take that to the next level, take that same type of language context and take human speech and deploy it in the business. So, in a similar component to that, you can have that type of Alexa-like experience that you mentioned, or your Google voice, and be able to say, hey, and then you can have and engage your clients with that, right? So you can make sure that your customers or whoever you're serving, or even your team in a house, can speak and have responses from the business, right? So these are places that we have to think about all of our stakeholders, because we all talk, we all chat, we all type, and being able to engage with that it's really impactful to see how you can optimize things. There's another component to the Einstein platform. There's, so that's the language, one of the language components. Language then also has a custom model builder where you can go and build models to understand language and categorize interactions with your clients, and you can use that. That's more of a developer side thing where you'll build models and deploy it so developers can leverage that in email interactions or marketing campaigns, or even suggestions to monitor how people are feeling during a chat, right? Whether they're being positive, negative, or neutral, you can help direct them and provide supporting documentation to your live agents. So that's a really cool experience under language. And then you can even understand what they're posting on Twitter, right? So you can scrape Twitter and just toss it into your model, and it'll tell you how this tweet performed, or what people are feeling about a certain product of yours. You can just gather a list of tweets and post it there and run it through the model. It'll give you a good gauge of who is feeling what way about your products or about your interaction. It's a lot of fun, right? And then under AI, I would also bring in vision. So vision is a tool that allows us to understand images. So by default, you can just throw some images at it, and it'll categorize if this is a blue car of this nature, or if this is, and it'll tell you what things are, what's the main items in the image. But it gives you a free place to build models where you can just label your data and give it examples. And with not that many examples, because it uses an adversarial neural network backend, with a couple dozen images, you can actually pull up and build a model that labels an item. Says you give it a couple images, 10 images of a BMW, 10 images of a Ferrari, and it'll be able to differentiate the two. So It really is a powerful way. And companies like Sharing Pics and others have made it really easy for you to just take those images, label it, and build models for free. And really engage in what is usually considered high cost, development and data science experience, and just have a drag and drop feature like Salesforce always does, that then gives you the power to build image classification models, and you can take that to your marketing campaigns and understand how people are then, once again, interacting on social media. We've used it as far as to like, scrape the internet and identify car accidents, and how severe a car accident was. So it's a
Wow.
really powerful tool. It's a lot of fun. So that's part of the platform there as well. So, and then there's predictions. There's pre-built items like lead scoring and opportunity scoring, and then under that is under the Discover umbrella, where you can toss a bunch of data at it and basically understand how components relate to one another. So you can see, hey, I want to know what's affecting my chances of winning an opportunity or my chances of closing a case. And you can see not only how each variable ranks in terms of its relevance to closing, but then you can also see how the blend of them rank. And once you see that, you then have a model that you can either through an API, so from your external system, feed back to it and say, hey, make a suggestion, or within Salesforce itself, you can just click, drag, and drop a model. And from that opportunity, you now have suggestions by Einstein saying, hey, you know what? You need to schedule this type of call with the client, so that you can increase your chances of closing the deal. And all these little things come together in this beautiful world where, rather than having teams of, sometimes a small team, but up to 10, 12 people, different departments coming together to make a big project work. One of us can sit down, and this is what we're calling a data citizen. You don't have to have a PhD in data science, but if you know Salesforce and you know how to use the Einstein platform, you can quickly develop models faster than any data scientist could, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think they're, just to put doubly emphasis on the predictive nature of Einstein and how useful that could be. Just think about, knowing, hey, if I have two separate opportunities and I know that if I do another call at this particular time, or if I add this type of product on here, it's going to increase my chances of closing this opportunity. That's immensely, that you almost can't even put a dollar amount to how useful that is for a business to just be able to predict something like that and not need hundreds of people to do it. You may just need only, as you said, a data citizen to come in and be the person that throws all of that stuff into Einstein and see what sticks. So that's super powerful. And just to put a double emphasis on that and how useful that is for businesses in general.
And it's a tremendous impact, right? We just saw a man break the 2 hour marathon a couple months ago, right? Or late, I think it was late 2019. The gentleman's name, I forgot how to mention it, but he's been a great runner for a long time. It's Kipchoge.
I'll pull him up.
Yeah, Kipchoge's, but this man's been a great runner for a long time, but he couldn't break that 2 hour mark. And what they had to do for him, they had to map out his marathon mile and then had to put a car in front of him with a laser showing him the guide point, right, of what he needed to do and showing him his pace. And he's obviously trained tremendously to be able to run, right, 16 miles an hour for 2 hours. That's more than most of us could sprint.
Oh, yeah.
But he was able to, because of that line, right, that guide point, he was able to hit a goal that was thought humanly impossible. But he was assisted by technology to do that. And, in the same way, Einstein allows us in each situation to provide that guide point, right? And so being able to empower your entire business and everybody who's contributing it to not only know where they stand, but also know where they need to step so that they can help contribute to the business. It's tremendously powerful to change from a system where a lot of times, we find out at the end of the month, the quarter after that, how we performed, right? And this is just a big shift. And then you're helping, build those things. So anybody can come in, and it's a really big platform. You can learn specific items and make a big impact. So it's a lot of fun.
All right. So you've got me hooked. I want to start learning Einstein. Yeah. Where do I begin? Is this something good for myself to make myself marketable? Are there job opportunities? Give me the 411. Should I even try to go down this route? Do I need a PhD?
Yeah, so you absolutely do not need a PhD, right? So if you just search on Google Einstein Learning Path, there's a series of trailheads and up-to-date items where there's just a lot of support from Salesforce on how to come in and start learning Einstein from the basics to analytics to vision, predictions, vision, all that will be included in that. And it's a very consumable format for you to come in, right? So you definitely don't need a PhD. It's good to understand a little bit about statistics, but I highly recommend the Khan Academy course on statistics on YouTube. Guy's amazing. Nobody teaches it better. You can't have a better stats course than even in college.
I'll second that.
So, guys, they definitely come in and learn and contribute. Our goal is really, to share and have more people come into the economy. Companies are really in need of this. There's great job opportunities at great companies. And there's a lot of companies like Google and Facebook that need these type of things. And, Snapchat, even clients that we've worked with need people to come in and help maintain and manage a lot of things that we've lifted and create new work. And there's just this exploding over the last 2 years. It's grown 10 times within the Salesforce economy in terms of traction on customer clients for Salesforce. So it's just been, and now with Tableau coming in, it's just been massive.
Oh, yeah.
So just absolutely a great opportunity for you to come in. There's lots of resources online. The community is superb. If you just search hashtag Data Tribe, we lead the Florida side, but there's definitely a whole team globally that's always willing to support one another, help you, give you the latest techniques. And we've had people go from chefs to lead data management at some of the top consultancies. So it's a lot of there's a lot of room to grow and succeed, and it's truly the next wave, right? We believe, in the technology world, right? We've seen a lot of posts for data scientists and job roles, and if you can do it faster and do it simpler and scale it to the business securely, which is what Einstein empowers you to do, it's the perfect recipe for you to come in and really make an impact on business. And there's just tremendous career opportunities there. And over the next 10 years, companies are just gathering more and more data. They're at their necks right now, and they're desperate looking for people with a skill set. So there's a certification out there. If you just do the super badges, join a couple webinars. You can follow us on the Florida Data Tribe on Meetup, and we do a Salesforce Saturday every other Saturday, so that you can come in and learn, from people with experience, and we'll all help one another in the community grow and make an impact. And then you can go to businesses and you'll have just a lot of people throwing offers at you, a lot of people, looking and desiring your skills. So you'll have, your choice. Right now, especially with the way that things are growing, there's a lot of options. We've seen, just because there's such a lack of available resources, our win rate against other consultancies and situations is just unusually high. We expect that to come down as the economy continues to grow and more resources come available. But that lack of expertise is so large that, it's engaged our success. So we really hope that other people come in and start, taking some of that for themselves and start really being able to support that deep demand that we can't fill.
Right. So do I need to be a master in Salesforce or understand, let's say the regular side of Salesforce that much to be successful in Einstein?
So it's really interesting, right? So as much as that's the preconception, Warren, is that you need to master Salesforce before you even take the next steps, right? People want to get their admin and advanced admin and an app builder badge before they even consider going into data science, right? Sounds like such a mysterious
Scary.
role. Right? And it's quite the opposite. So because it plays into integrating so many disparate systems, that you actually don't need much knowledge of Salesforce to really, besides logging in, to really master the platform, right? Now, maybe to leverage some of the techniques in Salesforce a little more and integrate it a little better, those are things that you can touch, but those Trailhead courses will be able to get those things embedded. All those intelligent tools are drag and drop lightning components. You really don't need, very rarely do you really need deep Salesforce knowledge to manage it. So, we have people right now that are coming in, and that's the first certification they're getting in the Salesforce economy is the Einstein certification.
Wow.
And they're just, I've seen them, these are leaders at Accenture for Einstein analytics teams regionally. because they came in and that's what they did first, right? So it's a big opportunity. There's a big demand, and it's a great entry point.
Wow. Well, you've heard Salesforce talk about it a lot. This is the fourth industrial revolution. It has to deal with AI, robotics, Internet of Things, and Einstein has a lot of that baked into it already. Definitely take the time to, just see if you like it. Do the trails, they're free. Go on Trailhead, join the community groups, hashtag the Data Tribe, reach out to some people that you want to talk to if you want to learn Einstein. Just dip your feet into it. You have me hooked. I'm definitely going to be hitting those trailheads and making sure that I brush up on my Einstein. I've learned so much. Thank you so much, Lucas, for running through this for me. Don't forget the Florida Data Tribe, and there is the Salesforce Saturday every other Saturday. So check them out. There will be links down below for that. Thank you so much, Lucas, for joining me. Any final words you have to give out to anybody that's listening, wants to learn Einstein?
No, thank you everybody for coming, and be data driven.
Awesome. Well, I'm Walters954. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, I believe in you.